What's up,
Hello.
everybody, and welcome back to Fireside Giants. I'm your host, Anthony Rivardo, joined by my co host, Allie, the Icebox, and we are here to recap the preseason and talk about the 53-man roster. So, what's up, Ultra
Yay.
Crimson Lotus? You're first this time. I see you, Sam Fountain. First after dinner, though, I see you, Sam, and RSG NATO. You're. What's
Hello,
going on, everybody?
Arsenio.
Drop some W's in the chat. Say what's up. How are all of you? Hope you're having a nice Wednesday evening.
I know I'm having a nice Wednesday. I got to see Hyatt in a nice little 13. So,
Yeah,
how's your Wednesday going?
my Wednesday's pretty boring. I'm tired,
Oh
but I'm
no.
here to talk Giants anyway. But we can take a look at Jalen Hyatt in number 13. My.
Yeah,
He looks real good in that
it
number, I
does.
will say.
It
I
does.
know
He
some
does.
fans were opposed to that idea. They didn't want to see him switch
Mm.
numbers. Some fans didn't like that idea because they want him to build his own legacy. Personally, I liked 84. I thought 84 looked good, but 13 looks just a little bit better to me. I do really like it.
Yeah, we had this conversation. I feel like we both said we liked 84 in general. However, 13 is nice. I don't care. I mean, not that I don't care about him building his whole, like his own, like whatever. I feel like he can do that anyway. Um, I think it's just people are reading too deep into it.
I
I
kind
mean,
of agree with you, honestly.
he's a kid who loved watching OBJ. He gets to wear the number of literally one of his favorite players. He said that's one of his favorite players. So if I had the opportunity, I would do it too. So
There you go. There's
wow,
Jalen
look
Hyatt.
at that.
I think that looks great personally.
It
I like
looks
it.
so good. It looks
I
so
think
good.
that with the visor on too, he's really channeling his inner OBJ here with the
You see
tattoos
the
as
arm
well.
sleeve?
The arm sleeve. OBJ used to wear one. He's got the red gloves,
Mm,
popping blue
mm-hmm. It's a
cleats.
look.
He's looking good. He's looking good. I like it. I'm rocking with
I do
it.
too.
What do
Hyatt
you guys
13
think?
jersey coming soon.
Comment down below. Hyatt W or Hyatt L. Let me know if you think 13 is a W or an L. Ultra Crimson Lotus said W earlier, and so did Javi and Lamar. What's up, everybody? Howie says, "What's up? What's up?"
Hello.
Says Hyatt has amazing speed and good hands. I agree with you. His hands are looking pretty good this summer, and I think he's regular season ready. Wow, this is cool. Hold on, Christian. Hello from Norway. Hello. Wow, that's
Hello.
so cool. Fireside Giants. It's international, guys.
We're in Norway.
In Norway. That's cool. Yeah. Where in Norway? And how's the weather in Norway? What time is it in Norway? I have so many questions now about Norway, but I'm happy that you're viewing from Norway. Everybody's dropping a W. I guess everybody likes the number 13.
Yes.
Okay. I like it too. I like it too. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to put you on the spot here for a sec. We should give Hyatt a nickname. What do you think the nickname should be? Speed Demon? That's a little corny.
All right, that is so corny. Corny jar for you. Oh my god. Oh, that's a good one. What? Hmm.
Comment your
Hang on.
nicknames for Hyatt down below, guys. I'm stumped here.
Yeah. It might come to me in during the season. I need to see him do something that like
Mhm.
creates a nickname. You know, it's usually how it goes sometimes.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Let us know if you guys have an idea. It's
wow,
two
that was another
o'clock in
Anthony who's
Norway.
tattoo.
That was another Anthony,
Mhm.
and of course a W. Nice. 2 a.m. in Norway.
Wow. Dang.
Roger Rabbit. That's a funny one. Ferrari Blur Jalen the Blur Hyatt. I kind of like that a little bit.
That's fire.
The way he
That's
glides, man.
fire.
He glides.
He does just jogging. He's faster than like half the people who play. So
He looks like one of the fastest players in the NFL immediately. So that's a big plus for this offense. Now that our roster is semi-set, is there any way we can protect certain players on our practice squad? Honestly, I think there is, but I'm not super well versed in this. But I'll go ahead and look it up. Practice squad protection. Protected players rules. Interesting. Teams can carry up to 6 practice squad spots on players with an unlimited experience in the NFL. They can also protect up to 4 players per week that other teams cannot sign to their active rosters. So every week you'll have 4 players from the Giants that are protected. If I had to guess, Cole Beasley is going to be on that list every single week because that is a player who I would not be shocked if a bunch of teams wanted to sign. Like, for example, I mentioned this in today's episode. The Indianapolis Colts are holding 3 wide receivers right now. Cole Beasley could realistically be signed by that team and start in week 1. He would get starting numbers, like starting amount of playing time, because he's better than most of the guys. I was going to say most of the guys, but they only have 3 guys. So he would get a lot of playing time there. So you would imagine that a team like the Colts would want a receiver, but the Giants, they can't afford to let Cole Beasley go. He almost made the roster.
Yeah.
They're going to want him to be a backup there for the team if they have any injuries. So they're going to protect him, I would assume.
Yeah, they would have to. I wouldn't even want to see Cole Beasley go anywhere. I really like Cole Beasley. Everybody says that he's old and whatever, but I don't know. I'm a fan of Cole Beasley. So.
He's reliable. Were you surprised that he didn't make the roster?
Yeah. I was, actually. I mean, I know the injury and stuff, so I guess that's a big reason why he's maybe on practice squad. They just kind of want him to heal. But I feel like since we started discussing wide receivers, I was like big on Cole Beasley's making it. Like it wasn't even a question.
Yeah, I thought that he was going to make it. I was surprised that he didn't, but I guess it makes sense in the end. Of course, it meant that our guy Young Shep made it, which I'm happy about. So Sterling Shepard on the roster, Cole Beasley off the roster. But like I said, they're definitely going to have to protect Cole Beasley. This is a player that I don't think they can afford to lose because we do have some injury-prone players in our offense, especially at the wide receiver spot. Like Darius Slayton, I don't know if I'd call him injury-prone, but he's been hobbled quite a few times in his career. Hodgins has stayed healthy, but you've got other guys. Paris Campbell's injury prone, Sterling Shepard's injury prone. So Cole Beasley is a player that you want to have, at any given moment. So it's good to have him on the practice squad, and hopefully they do protect him. And I think that maybe at some point during the season we will see him play. It wouldn't shock me. All right, let's go through a few more of these. Thomas C says Jalen Hyatt, the Roadrunner.
That's cool.
King Ja actually likes Speed Demon.
Nice.
I guess
Look
I had
at
a good
you.
one. There I go. Cameron Simpson says, good evening, Boomin. Good evening, Cameron. Cornerback killer, room service. Believe Hyatt will have an amazing season. Rookie of the year. Allie, care to comment? I think that you're in the same boat.
I might have him getting offensive rookie of the year. Anthony did not because he is terrible and such a pessimist. He was like, nah, it's possible, but I don't see it happening. I see it happening. Jalen Hyatt, offensive rookie of the year, lock it in.
I don't think it's impossible, but I do think it is rather unlikely. But I mean, there's just so much talent in this draft class. I don't know. We'll see though, because he's looked really good. He did toast Jalen Hyatt for a second, or not Jalen Hyatt, sorry. Jalen Hyatt did toast Sauce Gardner for a second in the preseason game. We'll see if he's able to build on that and have a good rookie season. I think he will, but rookie of the year is a tall order.
It burned Sauce, and after in that game they had like 2 people on him, and then they were trying to be like it was all Sauce, but no, it was double. If that was just the one-on-one, Hyatt would have kept burning him, and I stand by that.
He had a step, and if there wasn't the safety over top, he's gone. And then additionally, there was the safety over top, but if the throw was on time, there's a chance that it gets completed. Playing with Daniel Jones is going to make all the difference on a play like that, though, because Jones can fit it into that pocket. So it's just the difference between a starter and a backup. Who threw that one anyway? Because it almost got Hyatt killed. So I want to say it was probably Tyrod Taylor.
It was Tyrod. He gets me so mad. You don't understand. I posted "We're stuck with Tyrod," and I was dealing with people like, "No, Tyrod has proven himself in past years when he was on this team and this team," and I was like, "That's your key word, past years. Like we've seen what he could do, and I'm tired of it."
Yeah. I mean, listen, I still think that Tyrod Taylor is a really good backup quarterback, but there's something to be said about the fact that he just keeps getting guys hurt or keeps hurting himself. Like, he's just bad luck magnet. I think that's the problem. He's just bad luck. Jalen, the Flash Hyatt. I kind of like that. Speed Clipper Hyatt.
Nice.
That's also pretty good. Okay, here's a big question. Predict week 1 score. We're just over a week away. RSG NATO wants to know our week 1 scores. I'm going to give you my score, or at least my score differential. I think the Giants win by 3 points. I think Graham Gano puts it in,
That
and I
would be
think we
great.
win. I think it's
That would
gonna
be great.
happen.
I don't know. Honestly, I do think we're gonna win because I'm not scared of Dallas in the slightest. He is a secret Cowboy fan. I'm just gonna throw that out there. However, I am not scared of Dallas in the slightest. I don't know. I honestly think we could win by a touchdown, which would be kind of nice.
I could see a touchdown win. I think it's gonna be a one possession game, but 3 or
Yeah.
7 points I could see. And I am not a secret Dallas fan. Get
Yeah,
that
you
out of
are.
the window. She says this because I drafted CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott in one of my fantasy leagues,
And
but
traded for Trey Lance.
and I traded for Trey Lance. It's a dynasty league. I had no choice because that's me saying Dak isn't good and he's going to get benched at some point. So, but Dak is good. Here's a good question from Cameron Simpson. Who's one player from a past squad you'd like to replace a current starter in the squad? I'll give you my answer. And if you mean past player from Giants squads, I'm going to assume past Giants players, man, I have a couple here. Because I would say, just because I love OBJ and I'd love to see him in here,
Yeah,
I'd replace
that'd be
like
nice.
Slayton, but I don't even want to replace Slayton. We don't
I
need
feel like when
OBJ.
it comes,
Who
I
who
don't
who
know.
you
When you
going
say
with?
like when you say replace, it's like I don't want to really replace anybody. However, it would be a dream to have past players.
Yeah,
I said like I would love to have Lawrence Taylor like from then on this team now.
that's what
That
I
would
was
be
gonna
like
say.
amazing.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, as much as I like Aziz Ojolari, as much as I believe in him, it's Lawrence Taylor. You replace Aziz Ojolari. So
Yeah. Yeah. Same answer for that one.
Gavin, I agree with you. I think the media is sleeping on the Giants. Vegas is 7.5 wins over under. I'm taking the over on that if I'm a betting man, but I'm not because I live in a state where I'm not allowed to gamble. So
Damn, that's kind of boring. I'm slamming that over though. I can. So
you have fun. You bet it all.
I will. I'll have so much
Flying
fun.
Hyatt. Drunk lawyer says flying Hyatt. It's
What up,
close.
drunk
Close to
lawyer?
rhyming. I think I like it.
Flying Hyatt. Okay.
Protect DeVito at all costs. Yes, I think that they should protect. So this is all building on the practice squad things. That's kind of wrapping into the main theme of this episode
Mhm.
anyway. Waiver wire, final roster, practice squad. I think that Tommy DeVito would be another player that I personally would protect because we've had injuries at this quarterback position. Daniel Jones did have a season-ending injury just a couple of years ago. It's not outside of the realm of possibility that your quarterback gets hurt, no matter how durable they are. And Tyrod Taylor has been hurt rather frequently throughout his career. So as far as backup quarterbacks go, he's not the most dependable. So having a third quarterback available and ready to go at all times is really important. So yeah, I would put Tommy DeVito on that list to be protected on a week by week basis.
I agree. I don't want him to go anywhere. And I'm gonna build off of the season-ending injury a little bit that you said on Daniel Jones. So I personally, I don't know too much about that. Do you really think it was the injury that ended his season, or do you think they just shut him down and was like, all right, the season is a mess, like you're hurt, whatever. So we're
Yeah,
just done. And
I think that's a valid question. I think it was a combination of both. I think what was it, 5 weeks left in the season? I think he could have
yeah,
come back in 3 weeks, but he still would have been out 3 weeks and only had 2 games left to play. So yeah, just shut him down. But I think it was significant enough where he would have been playing through pain in those final 2 weeks, something like
yeah,
that. So it's kind of like, yeah, season ending. He could have played if he needed to, but he wasn't ready to play yet, and he would have been playing through pain. So, but either way, we've seen him injured before in his rookie season. He missed a couple games. What was that? Ankle, maybe? He played through
yeah,
ankle last year, played through bloody hand last year. Like the guy is tough as hell, tough as nails. He also
100%.
had a concussion. He had the concussion against Dallas. I don't think he missed the game
Oh,
though because he's just an
yeah.
animal. But still, he's
I
he's
hated
had
that
injuries in the
concussion.
past and. Yeah, that one was scary. He was foaming at the mouth and everything.
He
It was scary
was.
stuff.
I hate Dallas, man. And though everybody was just like walking past him too, there was only like one Dallas player that saw him and decided to help him. I hate that team. Our players always get hurt when they play Dallas.
Yeah, they do. Dallas is a little dirty squad, but even when you look around the league, like Joe Burrow being out for the last like 4 weeks with that calf injury,
Yeah,
if that happened during the season, he misses 4 games. You always need insurance at the quarterback position. So
yeah,
I think that
that's
no
true.
matter what on your practice squad, you should just protect your third string quarterback regardless. So I think it's valid. And this is a good point too from Gavin. Taylor puts too much air under the ball. Had he just zipped it into that window, I think
Yeah.
Hyatt could have caught it, but he also was against that coverage. You don't throw that pass with that safety coming over. You're trying to get your receiver killed in that on that play, but
He just always throws bad. I always bring this up at training camp. I remember standing there when the offense is doing the drills, and I get it's training camp and they're doing whatever, but there was some like ugly balls being thrown. And every time I looked up, it was like, who the heck threw that? It was always Tyrod Taylor. And that was just something that was so annoying because it was like
yep.
the ugly ball ever.
Not DeVito, though. DeVito throws dimes. Sam says, great top, Allie.
Thank you.
I like it. Pretty stylish. Way better than my crusty old. I've had this
To be
shirt for
fair,
like,
I think your shirt is also fire, so it's fine.
I don't know. I've had it for like 10 years at this point. It's pretty gross. It's my gym shirt. Let's see. Sam thinks that the Giants are going to win 31-24, and Evan Neal will not give up a sack. Now that would be a dream come true. We have another over-under here. Touchdown passes for Daniel Jones. Over-under 25. I'm going to take same. Over-under same. I'm going to go even. I've been predicting he throws around. You know what? I'm going to go over because I think he lands at like 26, which is what he had in his rookie year. It's not outside of the realm of possibility. Yeah. So I think he lands at 26 to 27, but he has 5 to 10 rushing touchdowns as well.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. I feel like I always say like crazy numbers, but I feel like 25, 26, 27, that is in the right range. I don't think he's going to go like crazy and go like 35, 40 touchdowns. Like you also have to be realistic, but he does run. So I do think he's going to have some rushing shots.
Yeah, I think that the rushing really bolsters those stats because even if he's not throwing an abundance of touchdowns, like last year he had 15 passing touchdowns. Fans of other teams like to point that out and make fun of him, but he had 7 rushing touchdowns. So that's 22 total, and that's pretty good. And then you add in 10 from Saquon Barkley. That's 32 right there. So it's a solid number of touchdowns, and then 1 from Landon Collins, pick 6.
Yeah.
RM, thank you for the donation. Appreciate you. You had a couple spelling errors in there, but I understand the gist. Myself, Allie, Alex, we're the go-to for the Giants content. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you feel that way. Giants' defense is solid. Cowboys going to have a lot of problems covering everyone.
I had this conversation with someone else when we were discussing Dallas. Honestly, the only people that scare me on that team is Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. And I feel like as long as our O-line finds a way to stop those 2 guys, I don't feel like we have anything to worry about. I'm not scared of Diggs in the slightest. I'm not scared of their offense. So, what, you're scared of Diggs? Or is that why you had that
I was going to say that I am so excited for Jalen Hyatt to turn Trayvon Diggs into burnt toast on the first play of the game. Like, I think it's going to be super early in the game. Listen, I think Diggs is a good player for what he does well. He does really well. But what he doesn't do well, he gets exposed all the time in man coverage because he's not good at man coverage. He's good at sitting in the zone. He's got great ball skills and great awareness. And he's a pick merchant because he sits in a zone on one half of the field and just stands there and jumps up and makes an interception. It's great. He's good at that. It's not a knock on him. Like, that's a good thing to be good at. But the man-to-man carrying a wide receiver or traveling with a wide receiver across the field, he's not good at that. And he gets overhyped by Dallas fans because he had 11 interceptions in 1 year. But he can't play good man coverage. Like, he gets turned around and he gets burnt on a frequent basis. So Jalen Hyatt has too much speed for that guy. I'm telling you, we've been waiting all summer for the big Jalen Hyatt touchdown. It's happening in week 1 because Dallas is going to say, oh, this is just a rookie. We don't have to, worry about him. Let's put him one-on-one against Diggs. Diggs is going to lock him up. Diggs is going to get caught on a double move, just like the one that we saw Hyatt score on against Carolina, and it's going to turn into a big play and hopefully a touchdown. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Mark it. Book it right now. Remember I said this. It's going to happen.
I like that. I feel like I'm digging the vibes you're manifesting. That's going to have me so hyped because, again, I'm not scared of Dallas. And I feel like there's this person who always DMs me and they're always like, do you think this is the year we're beating Dallas? Do you think this is the year we're beating Dallas? And it's like, we're going to beat Dallas this year. That's it. Stop asking me. It's happening. I'm not scared of that team. All we needed was the offense. And I think we have the offense. So
I think we definitely upgraded the offense this year. So I think we're starting the year off with a win. We'll see if we can sweep Dallas. I think that's going to be tough, beating them at home later in the year. Yeah. But I do think that week 1 at home, Sunday Night Football, I'm feeling good about that. The Giants usually play well against Dallas when they're home for Sunday Night Football. It's when they're away where they have some trouble. But when they're home for Sunday Night Football, I mean, I will never forget the game where Victor Cruz took off down the sideline and clinched a playoff berth. I will never forget that.
Core memory.
Core memory. Good times. 2011,
Yeah.
12. What a year. What a year to be alive.
Yeah. Back to Dallas, though. Honestly, I think one of Daniel Jones's best games last year was Dallas. We lost. However, I do think he played really well that game. And everybody else said that they let him down. I think that was a home game as well. I think Daniel Jones played
Yeah.
his ass off that game.
I think Jones plays well against the division rivals minus the Eagles, which is something he's got to work on this year for sure. He's got
Yeah.
to.
Not scared of Dallas, a little scared of Eagles.
What was the move Jalen Hyatt put on Sauce? It was just stutter step and go. It's delayed release, a stutter release. That's really it. It wasn't even the route. The route was just a fade route, but it was a stem. The stem was a stutter step into the fade, and he got open on the sideline because of the speed. Like that was clear. That whole route was just run straight and be fast. That's about it.
And he did. He ran straight and he was fast.
He's faster than everybody when he runs straight, to be honest. RSG NATO has Daniel Jones throwing for 4,337 yards. That's
I'm
a
with
very
you,
optimistic
RSG
estimate.
I like how you think.
I'll pencil him in at around 3,600.
Oh, pencil him around 3,600.
Okay, yeah, I know. I'm a big doofus here. All right, everybody comment down below. Who was your biggest surprise to get cut yesterday, and who was your biggest surprise that made the roster? I'm curious to know your thoughts. Let's hear it.
Darian Beavers.
Yep, Darian Beavers was a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, my take on that is Beavers' skill set is a little redundant for the fact that we now have Isaiah Simmons, because what Beavers was in college originally was a safety and he transitioned to linebacker. So he was supposed to be one of those more athletic in-betweeners who can move around the defense, play multiple positions. But at the next level, he proved that he can't do that. They had to make him just a pure linebacker. But now they have Isaiah Simmons who can do that. He can play both safety and linebacker and edge and nickel and do everything. So what they wanted Beavers to be is what Isaiah Simmons is. So ultimately, you don't need Darian Beavers taking up a roster spot when you have Isaiah Simmons. But a good player to have on the practice squad, knows the defense, can go in and give you solid snaps if there is an injury at the linebacker spot. And we know that we're thin there. So thankfully, he's back on the practice squad. But in my opinion, I think that once the Giants traded for Isaiah Simmons, they probably looked at the roster and said, we're going with Simmons over Beavers because he can do what we want him to do better than Beavers can.
That's true. So sad, though. I was rooting for him. But hey, it's a business. You got to take your heart out of it.
It's true. It is a business. I was rooting for him, too. I wanted to see him return from the injury. But just to be honest, I think he might have lost a step after the injury. He's probably got a little bit more recovery time left.
That is true.
Two giant goofballs says the Beavers getting cut was his biggest surprise, and Lemieux Stain was also his biggest surprise. That is so valid. I don't understand what dirt Shane Lemieux has on the Giants. And Shane Lemieux is blackmailing John Mara. I'm telling you, there's no way that this man should still have a roster. I'm sorry, guys. I know that there's a few Shane Lemieux truthers who still exist in our comment section.
Does exist?
Yes, there are a few fans of Shane Lemieux left over, but personally, I just remember how terrible he was as a rookie, and he's been hurt ever since. So, yes, he's healthy now, and he's ready to play. So, sure, we have depth in Shane Lemieux, a guy who knows the offense, but if he goes out on the field, he is an instant liability. I don't want to see him on the field, and honestly, I think that the Giants should have waived him and looked to pick up somebody else in free agency or on the waiver wire.
I thought they were going to. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't make any online moves, because I feel like that is like a unit that absolutely terrifies me, actually. So, I don't know. I hope they make a move soon. Unless they're confident in that online, there's no way they're confident with what we have.
There's a few offensive linemen available. Maybe we can dive into that later in this live. There's a few interior offensive linemen who are available in free agency. Justin Pugh comes to mind immediately. He said he wants to have the Giants reunion. He wants to come back to wear blue again. I think that's interesting, and I could see that happening, but I have to brush up because a lot of guys cleared waivers today, a lot of offensive linemen. So I'd have to see who now is available because it's a larger pool of offensive linemen. Yeah. So if the Giants do want to bring in outside help, there's plenty available at this point. RSG NATO says one of his biggest surprises is Matt Peart staying and not getting cut. That hurts me a little bit, RSG NATO. I know that you know that I'm a Matt Peart fan, but honestly, it surprised me too. I'm very surprised that he stayed. I
You
actually
cut
left
him.
him. I did cut him on my final 53 prediction. I didn't think he was going to make it. So
Mhm. That was a shock, wasn't
it was a shock. I really did think he was going to get cut because he just looked so bad in this preseason. But to be fair, RSG NATO and all of the Matt Parrott haters, a couple of years ago, he did have to start some games for the Giants. I think it was Andrew Thomas was injured, and he didn't play good. He wasn't great, but Matt Parrott was serviceable. He was decent as a starter in a regular season game. And I think this was his rookie year, too. So I don't completely hate Matt Parrott anymore. Or I'm not at the point where I hate him now.
it?
I've always liked him, and he hasn't necessarily reached a level where I'm like, I don't want him on my team the same way that I feel about Shane Lemieux. But I am surprised that he made the roster after just a really, really poor preseason because he did struggle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big Dash, he was arguing with some Shane Lemieux truthers today. Well, Big Dash, it's good to see you. Big Dash, let's collab soon. If you're still listening in on the stream, hit me in my DMs. If not, I'm gonna hit you soon. Want to get you on the channel. We're planning something a little bit special for next week, a Big Blue kickoff live stream for the regular season. So we want to get a few other content creators on here. So, but yeah, Shane Lemieux truthers, they do exist. It's shocking to me that they exist, but they're out there. They're out there in the world. Allie, what's your take on the running back situation? Jayshon Corbin did not make the team, but Gary Brightwell
They did
did.
not. So for that, I think the only reason that Brightwell probably does have a roster spot is for special teams, just because special teams has been god awful. So I think that's the only reason he's there. I actually did like Corbin. I'm sad he's not with us anymore. Um, that one actually genuinely like really hurt me in my soul. But yeah, the only argument I could have for Brightwell making the roster is strictly special teams, and that's really it.
Yeah, I think that's ultimately why Brightwell made it because Jayshon Corbin does not contribute much at all in terms of special teams. But I like the way he runs. I thought that he could be a good serviceable backup running back for the Giants. But now he's going to Carolina, I think, is where he's
Yeah.
signing to be on their practice squad.
Mhm.
Different opportunity for him. I wish the best for him. But Gary Brightwell, keep in mind, he had a touchdown for the Giants last year. Was that against the Packers, I think?
Mm.
Is that right? I think he scored against the Packers, 1 yard line.
Yeah. Mm.
Speaking of
That
which,
I
Aaron
don't know.
Rodgers. I'm gonna let
Okay,
you.
don't get
I'm gonna
me.
let you.
Don't get.
I'm gonna let you
Don't
get
get me.
started. Get started.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Aaron Rodgers is too cocky right now. He needs to relax. But before I get to Aaron Rodgers, I'm just gonna talk about the Jet fans that are going absolutely insane because of Hard Knocks and my boy Hottie's comment. I understand the Jets haven't had anything to be excited about since like basically the amount of years that I've been alive and probably more. So fine, they have a team. I like Sauce Gardner, whatever. Do your thing. However, the Jet Life comment is what literally like got me like super infuriated because how is it Jet Life if the Jets have literally done absolutely nothing to contribute to anything in MetLife? I'm pretty sure we have more retired numbers than they do. I'm pretty sure we have more people like from our team around MetLife than they do. So that's a thing. Aaron Rodgers going, oh, I don't even know who you are to Jahad Ward was just like super just ignorant to me, considering that Hadi 100% did have hits on him when we played him in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers does forget we did play him, and he looked stupid when we played him. And my QB beat him with a bloody hand in that game, so also keep that in mind. I am ready for Jets Week 8. That's it. That's what I have to say because I am angry.
No, week 8's gonna be a lot of fun. That's gonna be like I'm circling that game, Giants versus Jets. Listen, I can't wait for our number 8 to be the better number 8. But what I will say about the whole thing, the Jet Life thing is crazy because they haven't won a playoff game in that stadium, but we have. So that's really end of the argument right there. That's the end of it.
Oh, also to build up on that, their defense, okay? Their defense is solid. I feel like their defense has been good. Their O-line is still really, really, really bad. And yes, Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers is also an old man, and he isn't as mobile as maybe he used to be in the past. And if you can't protect Aaron Rodgers, there's nothing he can do. You saw him literally die on Green Bay literally the season before. If you think that he's not going to die here, if you can't protect him, then you're just wrong. He can't do anything if he can't throw the ball. That's just a fact.
It's true. Their offensive line does suck, but for what it's worth, the
It
Giants'
does.
offensive line does need some work as well.
Okay, but you know what? Daniel Jones looks better behind our offensive line than Aaron Rodgers does. My quarterback be zooming. Aaron Rodgers can't do that. He's too
No,
old.
he definitely can't. Rodgers is not getting
Exactly.
out there and running like that.
It's
Ultra
true.
Crimson Lotus is going to be at the game on September 17th. Who's that against? Is that one against Arizona? Is that right?
Yes.
Are we playing Arizona
I don't
week
know
2?
what schedule. Let me
Pull it
see.
up. Pull it up for me. But if it is
Okay.
Arizona, good for you because you're going to be seeing hopefully an easy Giants win because Arizona
Yeah.
is just.
Arizona's
Oh, he said
terrible.
it is Arizona. Yeah, Arizona just looks like they're giving up already.
100%. They look like they're tanking.
Yeah, they do.
It's like so obvious to the point where it's making me mad. Like someone needs to say something. Like you know how I feel like in the NBA there's like something that they do so that teams can't like tank that way. So like the league still stays competitive.
They have a draft lottery. So, but
Mm.
if they implement the draft lottery into the NFL, I'd be pissed. I don't like the draft
No,
lottery.
that would get me. No, I swear, not even just a draft lottery. Maybe I could be wrong, but I remember reading something that maybe there's like fines for certain teams if they see them like trying to
There
tank
might be.
anyway. But I don't know. I could be wrong.
Didn't they fine the Dolphins for something? No, that was because they tried to tamper with Tom Brady. That's what it was. But I know they investigated the Dolphins for tanking. I don't know if it ever
Tank for Tua.
was proven. Yeah, the Tua tank was crazy, bro. At least Tua's turned out pretty good for them. I mean,
Mm.
we'll see long term how that works out, but he's looked pretty good. I don't know. But you know who else has looked good? You know who's looked better? Daniel Jones.
Daniel
Sneak
Jones
that in
looks
there.
cool, amazing,
Yeah,
which
he's looked
is
really
what
good
I'm
this
super
summer.
excited for. He literally top tier. Went in preseason offense. Didn't even need Saquon Barkley out there, which is what had me excited. So it's like, imagine if we do have Saquon Barkley out there. What? Come on. Danny Dimes season. Danny Dimes MVP season loading. That is what's happening.
The Daniel Jones MVP season would be historic. That would be incredible.
Are you trying to be optimistic while also trying to shoot me down by saying that that won't happen?
No, I wasn't gonna say that. I mean, it's not gonna happen, but I would love for it to
See,
happen.
there we go. There we go.
It would
Well,
be
you
a lot of
see, that
fun.
would be nice. Not gonna happen. Mr. Realist and angry about everything that can't happen. Okay.
Okay, all right.
Danny Jones
Um,
MVP year.
yeah. We'll see. Let's see. What else do we want to ask the chat? I feel like we already went through the most notable moves
Yeah.
on the roster day. We had a good comment here. You also like Talleyrand1 also likes Travis Gibson. Travis, I think it's Travis Gibson. Travis Gibson is a player who was with the Chicago Bears. He had 7 sacks in 2021 with 5 forced fumbles. It's like an Aziz Ojolari stat line. It's kind of similar to what he had this past season. But he didn't have a great 2022 season, only 3 sacks, but he also wasn't utilized as much. They were trying to develop some other players in Chicago, and he got cut yesterday and cleared waivers today. And I think that this is a player that the Giants should go sign like immediately. I think he would be an instant boost to the pass rushing group. And I like Boogie Basham. I think that's a good move,
Yeah,
but it doesn't hurt to have another good pass rusher. Giants fans should know better than anybody. You can't have enough good pass rushers. So
that's true. If you want to hear more, you should go watch that Fireside episode. It was very informative.
I was dropping some knowledge on Travis Gibson. I appreciate the
He
plug there,
was.
Allie.
He was a dude. You're welcome.
All right, what player from the squad do you think is most likely to get an individual award at the end of the season? That's a really good question to my friend Cameron Simpson. Allie, I'm going to let you
Jalen
take
Hyatt.
it.
Jalen Hyatt, offensive rookie of the year.
It's probably the right answer, to be completely honest. It really is. Who's most likely? It probably is Jalen Hyatt. Well, you know what? If we're gonna play the realistic fashion, the most likely is Saquon Barkley for Offensive Player of the Year.
That's true. You think so?
Yeah, I mean he's
Maybe,
still a
yeah.
top 5 running back in the NFL, probably a top 20 talent in the NFL. You know, like if he rushes for 1,500 yards and 15 touchdowns, he can win Offensive Player of the Year. And that's not outside of the realm of possibility for him to go for 1,515. Like it's possible. So
True. I can see it happening. I also just gonna plug in my Thibodeau enthusiast. Who knows? Maybe Kayvon crazy year defensive player of the year. No. Yes.
I could see it.
I mean, there's a lot of defensive players. There's some big competition. However, I
Yeah.
would like to manifest it.
Yeah, I'd like to
So.
see. I think that it's more of a year 3 or 4 or 5 kind of thing for him. I think give him a couple more
Oh.
years and he'll be ready. But this year 2, it's probably a little rich. But hey, I don't know. We'll see. There's always a breakout player comes out of nowhere
Mm.
and has a big year. So Stephen RC agrees with me. Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Sam Fountain thinks JMS is going to make all rookie team. Now I feel like that's
Ooh.
very likely.
Yeah.
I don't know if they don't really do an actual all rookie team in the NFL. Like I think they don't do like how they do the AP All Pro. There is no AP All Rookie, interestingly enough. But I could totally see JMS being considered an All Rookie player. And for what it's worth, who was it? Who's the Chief center? God damn it, what's his name? He fell in the draft. They stole
Ooh.
him. Creed Humphrey. Creed Humphrey,
Mm.
I think.
Mm.
I think he was as a rookie second team All Pro, and
Nice.
everyone keeps comparing John Michael Schmitz to him because he fell in the draft the same way and went to a
Mm.
team that was a perfect fit. So who knows? Maybe JMS does get All Pro this season. Steven RC
That would
just
make
said
me
that as
very
well.
happy. Mhm.
Yeah, here's another candidate. What about Darren Waller as like the comeback player of the year? I could see
That would
that.
make me very excited because I really love Darren Waller, and I feel like I go on a Darren Waller rant every time we talk about Darren Waller. I love him, and I feel like just him as a person, I think that award would mean a lot just to fans and to him. I love that man, like genuinely.
Me
That
too.
makes me excited.
And I think the comeback player of the year is actually kind of realistic for him. Not that he
Yeah.
had not like he missed the entire last season or
Mm.
really struggled that badly. Like he was still good, but he missed time and he wasn't the same player. But if he's able to come back this year, go for like 1,200 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns, like yeah, that's comeback player of the year stuff right there. So that's a good
I
candidate. I didn't even
see
think
it
of that.
though. I see Darren Waller being our main guy on offense, to be honest. I get into a lot of arguments with people who still swear it's going to be Saquon. I think right now it's going to be Darren Waller. I could be like wrong just going off of my love for him, but I do feel like he's going to be our main offensive weapon. I feel like now teams are going to not only be like, we're only worried about Saquon. Now it's going to be like, okay, we're worried about Saquon and Darren Waller. Like, we have to keep him in mind.
So what I will say, my caveat here is I think that the Giants want Darren Waller to be the main guy. They want to run the offense with more of a pass heavy approach and feed him the ball, make him that X factor in the offense. However, the offensive line might
Yeah.
cause them some grief and it might force them to throw the ball less than they want to and hand the ball off to Saquon more. And then Saquon's going to rip big runs and then he might be the focal point of the offense. So
Mm.
it goes hand in hand, but if the offensive line is better this year than it was last year, Kafka's going to call more passing plays, more big shots, and Waller is going to get those targets and touchdowns. So it's all about staying healthy for Waller, and it's all about the offensive line play, allowing Daniel Jones to do what we know he can do. So
Mm. That's true.
RM, huge donation here, $20. Thank you so much. Really
Wow. Thank
appreciate
you.
all of your support. You're always crushing it in the live streams, and just want to say thank you once again, RM. But let me read your question. Love what they did on the offensive side of the ball, but traditionally, this is a grinded out defensive team. I really wouldn't be surprised if the offense isn't great and they just win games in their typical traditional way. Historically, the New York Giants have always been a defensive approach team. They've always been a team that defense wins championships. We saw that in both of those old Super Bowls,
Yeah.
21-25, 42-46. Defense really won it for those as well. I'd say 46 was more of a happy medium, though. I think the offense, I mean, you had Cruz, you had Knicks, you had Manningham, you had
Love
a
Victor Cruz.
really great running back tandem with Jacobs and Bradshaw. So that team I think was a little bit more balanced, but that 2007-8 team was really loaded defensively with Strahan, Tuck, Umanura, all of those guys. So
NYPD.
yeah, NYPD out there. So I
Mhm.
think if we're going based on history, if the Giants win the Super Bowl, it's going to be because their defense came to play. But this year, I'm not expecting them to win the Super Bowl. Realistically, I have to play the neutral ground here and just give you my realistic predictions. I don't think that they're going to win the Super Bowl, but I think they're going to be a really good team. And I think that's going to be because they make it far due to having an explosive offense this year.
That makes sense. I actually really want it to be an explosive offense because it's always our defense. Like, I'm tired of hearing you only win because of your defense. Like, that's the Eli Manning argument, why people always say that Eli's not a Hall of Famer. Like, that was their defense. It wasn't Eli. I do feel like Eli should be a Hall of Famer anyway, but I'm just tired of hearing it. So I feel like I want to see them step up on the offensive side, which I think they will. I agree with you. No Super Bowl this year, not until we fix that O-line, because we saw what happened to the Bengals, and Joe Burrow had a crazy offense, just no O-line, no O-line, and he died. So
And
once you
Patrick
fix the
Mahomes
O-line, I think Patrick Mahomes as well.
against the
Injuries to that
Bucks.
O-line. He couldn't even score a touchdown. That was like the saddest game I've ever seen Patrick Mahomes play. And he's Patrick Mahomes. So actually, gonna go to my Danny argument. Anybody who said that O-line doesn't matter because your quarterback is supposed to elevate the talent around them, and like he's no Patrick Mahomes cannot score a touchdown without an O-line. So there you go.
It's a good point. It's a good point to bring up because that Super Bowl, he looked like the superstar out there. Like he looked like Patrick Mahomes, but that offensive line was so bad he just couldn't do enough, even as Patrick Mahomes.
That was one of the saddest Super Bowls I remember watching. I remember just being bored because like he couldn't do anything. He really couldn't. Yeah.
All right. This comment from Sam, Shep for comeback player. That's not going to happen. I don't care how much of a dreamer you are, Allie. That's not going to happen. But I will say, if that does happen, I would cry so many happy tears. I would be so happy if Shep won comeback player of the year. I want this to happen. This is the one that I want to happen out of all of them.
I want it to happen as well. I don't see it happening either. So I guess you're rubbing off on me.
The realism is rubbing off. Skylar Big Red Shaw says everyone keeps forgetting about Azeez. Well, don't include me and everyone because I think that Azeez Ojulari is going to be the leading sack total. He's going to have the leading sack total of the two edge rushers. I think he ends up with 10, and I think that Thibodeau ends up with around 7 to 10. But I think that if Azeez Ojulari stays healthy this season, his third season, he's in the best shape of his career. He looked phenomenal last year when he was healthy, and he's not an injury-prone player. This is the thing. I'm not forgetting about Azeez because I get angry like once a day on Twitter because all of these Giants fans keep referring to Azeez Ojulari as an injury-prone player. What are we talking about? He had one season where he battled through an injury. His rookie year, he didn't miss any time. He was completely healthy. Last season, he had a calf injury. He rushed back too quickly. He injured it again. That's normal. That happens to all of the players in the NFL. If you rush back too quickly, you get hurt again. Azeez Ojulari just wanted to be on the damn football field because he was playing some damn good football, and he's going to keep doing that. So if he stays healthy this year, he's going to go ahead and have a kick-ass year. But he's not an injury-prone player. I get annoyed when everybody says that, but Azeez Ojulari, great football player, and I think that he can top 10 sacks this season.
Yeah. I feel like it's some NFL fans, they kind of drag injury prone. They feel like one injury makes you injury prone. I remember last year people were saying that about Ja'Marr Chase when Ja'Marr Chase got hurt. But I was like, Ja'Marr Chase didn't really get injured. I think his last injury is like one of his college years. I was like, how is he injury prone? Like he's not injured all the time. It's just they see one injury and it's like injury prone. That's it. Like it's okay. It's football. It is a contact sport.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. But
it's a violent sport. It's like getting in a car crash every week. That's what the players say. That's what Nacho said. And Azeez, he had one injury-riddled season, but considering the fact that he still played through those injuries, and what did he have? I know he had 5.5 sacks, but he played in how many games? Let's see. He played 7 games. Everybody's acting like as if he missed the entire year, and he's like only played 17 games in his whole career. He played 17 as a rookie, guys, and he played 7 last year. He was injured, so he's not injury prone to me. I think he's going to get healthy, and he's going to be great. You guys know, long-term viewers of the channel know how badly I wanted him pre-draft. I was fine with even taking him in the first round that year. And then when they took him in the second round, I was over the moon. So I still believe in Azeez Ojulari, and I think he's going to be a great player. I think he's going to have a really good season.
I went to my handy-dandy website that I always go to when it comes to injuries, and you could tell he's not an injury-prone player because they don't even have any percentages here for him. Usually there'd be like a percentage of of them getting re-injured. There's nothing here. Like it is blank.
Oh yeah,
so they do not think he's getting re-injured.
On Draft Sharks.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck? It's empty. There's nothing here.
Yeah, but usually they'll tell you based on his injuries in the past what his percentage is to get injured, and he didn't have injuries in college. Like he's always been a healthy player. So Sean is here. Hey Sean, how are you? Don't worry about it. You were late. Sean. That's okay. The replay is always there for you to watch. Stephen RC thinks Kayvon's going for 13.5 and Azeez for 11. If that happens, we are going deep into the playoffs, my friend. Let's see. Saquon rushed back too early from the high ankle sprain 4 weeks early, led to the ACL, but he's injury prone even though he never got injured in high school and college. Okay, that's true, sure, but that's because he was hurt for 2 seasons in a row. We saw Saquon Barkley get hurt, so now we label him as injury prone. But Azeez Ojulari has had 1 season. If he gets hurt this year, okay, sure. Then go ahead. Start labeling him injury prone. But right now, Steven, I'm just going to say, I think in his entire high school and college career, he was healthy. His entire rookie season, he was fully healthy. Yes, he had a bad stint with injuries last season, but if he stays healthy this season, he's not an injury-prone player in my eyes.
I agree. I like Azeez a lot, actually.
Me too. Skylar says, I am also really excited about Paris. How could you not be? He's had some rough QB action the last couple of years. I agree with you. I think this is the best quarterback that he's ever gotten to play with, unless he was there during the Andrew Luck days. I don't remember how long he's been in the league, but Paris Campbell was healthy last season, looked phenomenal, and he's going to look huge. I think he's going to have a huge year for the Giants.
I'm excited about Paris Campbell. I think, again, he's like a dynamic player. So I feel like we're going to see creative plays with him. I feel like Kafka and Wink, they both like doing really wacky stuff. Like, so it's like wacky stuff on defense, wacky stuff on offense. So I'm excited to see how they're going to use Paris Campbell.
Me too. And I just love his versatility and how dynamic he is with the ball in his hands. But here we go. $50 donation from Corp CA.
Wow.
Thank you, man. I think that might be the biggest one that Fireside Giants has ever received. So massive thank you, Corp CA. Really do appreciate it. But pick a game that we're supposed to win but may lose, and one we're supposed to lose but may win. I got us beating San Fran on the road and us losing to Washington at home. Those are really good choices. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull up the schedule so I can give you the best answer possible. But what I will say is the Washington at home one is probably the one that I'm going to pick out of ones that we should win but might lose.
Let's see. I would love for us to beat the 49ers. Just the 49ers, that defense
that'd be
is
great.
Like crazy.
We should beat the Raiders in week 9.
Yeah.
But it's the week after that Jets game, and it's on the road. So you're going from a really hard-fought Jets game, and then you're going to Las Vegas to play the Raiders. I could see us losing that game. So I'll pick that one. And then in terms of, I think I got to go with that Washington game as one that we –
Yeah,
we're
going to beat the Rams. That's a cakewalk.
Yeah, I can't imagine we lose that. And I'm going to go with a game that we shouldn't win but will. I'm going to say that we're beating Philly at least once this year. I think this is the year that finally happens. I need to.
I just need redemption from that playoff game because I remember being sick to my stomach. Like going in there, I knew we were super underdog. Like I was being super realistic. That was the only time I wasn't optimistic at all. I knew where our team was and I knew where Philly was. Philly, complete team. That's it. So it was like I really wanted us to win. I didn't have any faith, though. I was like, Philly is just a much better team. So it was just so sad to see us lose in the way we did. And then freaking Bradbury, who I hate, got the interception on Daniel Jones, which broke my heart even more because I hate Bradbury. And it's like the fact that it was Bradbury who got it, that wasn't fun for me.
Yeah, James Bradbury picking off Daniel Jones, that was painful. Stephen RC, the West Coast trip is going to be tough. And we have a couple West Coast trips too. That's the thing. So you've got the West Coast trip, the main one, which is at Arizona in week 2, then at San Francisco week 3, and then we're home against Seattle, which sucks. Why couldn't that have been away as well and just stayed on the West Coast? But then they're gonna have to travel back. But whatever. And then they're traveling again to Miami and then back up north to Buffalo. This schedule really has so much traveling for the Giants.
I have this meme and it's like so perfect. I remember when the schedule came out, I was mad about it. And it was like a guy getting jumped and it was like the schedule makers to the Giants. Like they just like literally hated us when they made the schedule.
Yeah. And then we're back on the West Coast in week 9 to play the Raiders. So yeah, this is a tough one. Tough schedule, man. Yeah. And then we play the Rams as well. That one's at home though, thankfully. Yeah. Washington at home does feel a little bit like a trap game, RM. I'll say that. I think we always pencil it in and we're like, we're going to be Washington, we're going to sweep them, but it's not always the case. I mean, they almost beat us last year at home. We tied with them, so keep that in mind. So
annoying. I hate ties. I hate ties, I think, more than I hate losing because it's just like, what is this?
Skylar says, Skylar says, I don't get to comment too much, but I usually listen to you all on Amazon Podcasts. Love the content. I've been an avid listener for about 2 years. Skylar, really do appreciate that. Long-term listener, 2 years now. It's a pretty long time. So thank you for all of your support across these last 2 years. And I hope that we can continue providing you with amazing content for the next several years going forward. Stephen RC says the Giants are going to be racking up that frequent flyer miles. Yes, they will be. A lot of long
100%.
road trips this year. A lot of them. It's crazy. Aria Prue says, let's go NY. Let's go Giants.
Yes. Let's go Giants.
Another painful moment was the last time a couple years ago, maybe 3 years ago, when Philly tanked on purpose. That was painful. That was the most painful. But to be fair, if the Giants made the playoffs that year, they were getting bounced immediately. So
I guess it saved that heartache.
It did.
But...
Still can't believe Philly did that, though. Such a scumbag team. I hate Philadelphia.
I hate Philly as well. I hate all of them. Washington is irrelevant to me, but I hate the Eagles and I hate the Cowboys. And now I'm throwing in the Jets. Might as well get. I feel like I might hate the Jets more than I hate freaking Washington at this point. Like, Washington is so irrelevant to me.
Yeah, they do feel really irrelevant. I will say that. But Sam Howell looks good. I'm curious to see how he plays this season.
He does.
And if he starts to make noise in our division, and I hope he doesn't.
Who said that? I was saying Sam Howell was good, and you were like looking at me like I was crazy. I was like, yo, Sam Howell was cooking.
Sometimes I like to make fun of people for no reason. RM, I think we win our first 2, lose to the Niners, then win our next 3. Let's go through the schedule. So win versus Dallas, win versus Arizona.
Yeah.
Also, RM, thanks for the donation. Appreciate it. And then lose to 49ers. That's valid. But then you think that we beat Seattle, beat Miami, and beat Buffalo. Buffalo.
Honestly, to be fair, I don't know what's going on in Buffalo. Like, they were supposed to be a Super Bowl team, 2 years in a row? And for some reason, something is just not working out. And I think that's a big game, just in general. The fact that we're literally like Big Blue Mafia at this point. We have Joe, we have Dapes, like we have Hodgins, we have like half their players.
That right there is the answer. You say what's not working out. Like, they were a Super Bowl team 2 years ago, but they haven't been able to get to that level and be a Super Bowl contender again. What have they been missing ever since then? Brian Dable. True.
Exactly. Dable. I think we actually could win that one.
I could see
Dave's left, and Josh Allen just like, I don't know what happened. I still love Josh Allen, but
he's still great. He's still great, but
I love
not the same as he was. But I will say, in that game versus Buffalo, you bet your ass that Brian Dable is going to cook up a game plan. He is going to try his damn hardest to beat his former team. So I can't wait for that one. That's going to be
that's an exciting one. Let's take a road trip to Buffalo and watch that one.
Don't tempt me. When is that?
I'm down. That is October 15th.
That's funny because I'm in New York on that day.
Road trip to Buffalo?
The stars are aligning. The stars are aligning. I might have to, bro. Hold on. That's the night game too. We'll see. We'll talk about it. See. I have a really early flight the next morning though.
Oh no.
So we'll see. All right, let's see. I think we beat one of them, Miami or Buffalo, not both. I'd be surprised and want to, though. I would love to beat both of them, of course. I will be at that Miami game. That much I do know. So if any of you are in Florida and go to the Miami game, please let me know and you can come meet me. And in fact, Corpsier with another massive donation. Thank you so much. Used to live in Brooklyn, now in South Florida. You're going to the Giants-Dolphins game. That was such perfect timing. I'll be there. Send me a message on Twitter while you're at the game and I will tell you where I'm at and we can meet up and I'll say what's up.
Give him a sticker.
Yes, I'm going to bring stickers with me, and I'm going to give you guys stickers at those games going forward because now I finally have them because Alex had a monopoly of stickers, but now I have the stickers. So
yeah, I had to keep reminding you to give out the stickers at FanFest too. It's like you just forgot that they.
I wasn't used to having them. I wasn't used to it. It was a new thing for me.
Now you have them. I carry mine with me everywhere. It's my favorite thing ever.
I do like my sticker, but all right, Corpsier, thanks again for the donation. I'll see you at that Miami game and 2 Giant Goofballs road trip to Miami game. Hang out with us there. I'll see you at the Miami game because I'll be there. And then
I feel like so left out right now.
I will see you at the Miami game. You live in Stewart. I live in Palm Beach, which is actually rather close to Stewart. So Wow, a
I'm
lot of
feeling left out. I
Floridian
think I have to
Giants
go to
fans.
Miami.
Pull up. We could hang out. We could go to the
I
game.
might have to. I'm feeling left out. Everybody's going to Miami.
I think you got to slide. I think it'd be fun.
I think I do.
Let's see. What else do you guys want to hear about? Who else on the roster are you surprised by? Anything practice squad related? Leave your comments in the chat. Let's see it. I am excited for that Dolphins game, though. I love going to football games. I really do.
I mean, I've only been to one, and it was the horrible Mike Glennon game. So I definitely have to have a better experience than that. It was Mike
I
Glennon against the Cowboys, in which Shep also tore his Achilles. So anything that could have went wrong.
Yeah, I went to Giants versus Dolphins Mike Glennon game, and I spent money on tickets for myself, my mother, my aunt, and my cousin. I spent and
Oh
banked while Daniel Jones was
no.
healthy, and then he was hurt, and we lost, and it was just so not worth the money. But I took my cousin to his first football game, so it was fun. But it was
I think
just
that
a
was me.
terrible, terrible football game.
Me and my brother went together. I got them free from I got tickets free from LPG. I got in, and then my brother was like wanting to be closer. So then I ended up buying tickets closer to the field because they like completely dropped. You know that like that happens with tickets. Like once the game starts, it's like whatever. So it was like end zone, but like super close, and I got them both for like $30. So
That's a good deal.
yeah,
That's a
so
really good
that's what I
deal.
did. Mm-hmm.
That's clever. I might have to do that.
Yeah.
Steven RC wants to go to the Giants game. Can't go. Steven, I think that we've been in the same location on numerous occasions, but still have not met each other. But one of these days, the universe will put us in the same place at the same time. We will meet. I swear. Steven, it's going to happen eventually. And I will definitely let all of you know whether or not I'm going to be at any home games this year for the Giants. I will definitely post on Twitter. Make sure you follow me. X, Twitter, whatever. I still call it Twitter. But still have nightmares from when Deshaun Jackson ran the one back years ago and ruined our season. Brother, I cried myself to sleep that night. I was a young child and I cried. It was painful. Sam Fountain said tailgating at Tony's place. Maybe not at my house, but I will probably be driving to that game and we can tailgate out of the trunk of my Honda Civic.
It's a really cute Honda Civic.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
We can all recreate scenes from Scarface beforehand. Listen, if we can go down to Miami Beach, hang out, and then go to the game, I'm all the way in. I do love Miami Beach. I actually have a friend who's going to that Giants-Dolphins game as well, so it'll be fun.
I'm feeling so left out right now. I need to go to Miami.
Who's stopping you? We'll see. We'll see. Let me know. I'm in Florida usually all the time. And so let me know if you want to link up sometime, Miz. I want to do a fan meetup with the Floridian Giants fans at some point. I want to set something up at like a sports bar, Buffalo Wild Wings or something, meet all of you guys. So we'll see if I set that up soon, and definitely want to see you there.
That's cool. I love Buffalo Wild Wings.
How's DJ's running going to be this year? Wanted to say the same. TBH, Dable knows what he's doing. I agree. I think Dable knows what he's doing, and I think Kafka is going to keep using him as a runner, and I think he's going to rush for pretty similar numbers that he did last year.
Yeah, I don't think anything's going to change. I feel like we've spoken about this before. I think just having more offensive weapons only opens the door for him to run more, just because now defenses have so much more to look for. I feel like last year it was just Saquon and just Danny, whereas now you have Saquon, you have Darren Waller, you have Hyatt, you're going to have Paris Campbell, like Hodgins. Like there's so many people that I feel like are going to have to look for that it's just going to open the door for him. So.
I agree with that. I think he's still going to be running, and I think that he's going to have a larger sense of comfortability in this offense this year, which is going to make the Giants' offensive coaching staff feel more comfortable calling running plays for him because he's got more confidence and more comfortability. So he's going to want the ball in his hands more. So I think that's another thing to keep in mind. We're coming up on the hour marker here, guys. So get your last minute questions and thoughts and comments in before we wrap up because I'm a little sleepy. Yeah, this one did fly by. Time flies when you're having fun. It's so true. What a true saying.
Yeah.
Sean says he would make the trip to the Miami game, only a 5-hour drive. Let me know if you make it, and I'm gonna try and meet up with as many of you guys as I can during the game, before the game, after the game, all that stuff. I'm gonna really make sure that this time going to this game, I set it up so that I have time to meet up with you guys, and I'm not just there to watch the game. I want to meet my Fireside Giants fans.
Yeah, bring the stickers.
I will bring the stickers. I don't think you'll let me forget the stickers in the first place, so.
I will not.
Do I think the Giants will try and sign Isaiah McKenzie? I could see it happening. You have a thought on this, Allie?
I do. I thought about this when I saw that the Colts cut him, and I'm going to be really, really, really honest. I already feel like we have receivers though that have a same skill set as Isaiah McKenzie. So for me, it's just
Yeah.
I won't see the fit. Like I had something before where I even compared Wandale to him. So it's like Wandale could be used the same way. Paris Campbell could kind of be used the same way. It's like I understand it because he's a Buffalo guy and obviously like already knows like Dave's system or whatever. But I don't see the fit. I feel like I do like our wide receiver room. I just don't feel like he's gonna offer anything different than what we already have. But that's just like what I feel about that, I guess.
Yeah, honestly, I would say with Isaiah McKenzie, had Wandale Robinson not been activated off the PUP list, maybe you bring him to the
Yeah.
practice squad. But since Robinson's healthy and he's ready to go, I don't think you necessarily need him. Yeah, Stephen RC says could be an upgrade at kick return / punt return. Maybe he could contribute in that facet of the game. But personally, I think McKenzie, I see the connection with Dable, but overall, the Giants have a lot of wide receivers already, and I don't think that it's necessary to go for Isaiah McKenzie at this point. But
a wide receiver I do want.
Yeah, who?
T. Higgins.
Yeah, T. Higgins. I think we all want T. Higgins, but good luck at getting him. To be fair, the Giants kind of have T. Higgins now with Darren Waller in a way.
Okay, true. But I love T. Higgins. Like Joe Burrow's so spoiled over there on the Bengals.
He really is. He's got an embarrassment of riches.
Receiver. Literally, he's so spoiled. I would love to just have T. Higgins, even though I follow T. Higgins' mom on Twitter. She loves the Bengals. I don't even think they're going anywhere. She's always talking about how they're going to resign him. I feel like Joe loves him. I don't think he's realistically going to go anywhere, but I love T. Higgins. So.
Well, if he gets on the trading block, I want to see the Giants go for him for sure. But Dolphins is Corp CA's second favorite team. This is now his second Giants and Dolphins regular season game. This is his Super Bowl. That's awesome. That's a lot of fun. I've been to a lot of Giants-Dolphins games. What I will say is the Hard Rock Stadium is awesome. I absolutely love it. I think that it is a great place to watch a football game. So I know that you've had fun there before, and you will have fun this year, and so will I.
Well, that's nice. That's how I thought I was going to feel about the Giants-Jets game because I love Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers was one of my favorite quarterbacks. And before they announced Green Bay as the London game, me and my dad were very much considering taking a trip to Lambeau to watch that game. And then they said it was a London game. Yeah, we were literally like super close to doing it. And then they announced it as a London game, and I was heartbroken just because I really wanted to see Aaron Rodgers. So I was like, oh, at least now we have Giants and Jets, and I get to see him. And I thought it was going to be super exciting. But now I'm starting to hate Aaron Rodgers, and so that love is dying. So it's not going to hit the same for me anymore. But
that's fair.
I understand that feeling. Yeah. I'm heartbroken. I feel like I'm like going through a breakup right now. It's like I thought like me and Aaron Rodgers were like cool, and then he just like broke my heart. Whatever.
It'd be like that sometimes though. But now you just gotta embarrass him on the football field to get over him, you know?
Yeah. And that's exactly what's gonna happen, and I'm excited for it. So whatever. Yeah. Whatever, Aaron Rodgers. I'm done. We're done. I'm blocking you. That's it.
Cavile reacts. Cavale, one of the two, hopefully. Sorry if I said it wrong. Says you would go crazy with a PC setup and a live stream.
I don't know what that means.
We gotta upgrade the setup, get some LED lights and all that.
Oh,
I like the setup though. I like the Eli Manning tapestry. That is too fire. But
give me a second.
Maybe we could get you with the LEDs and get you set up.
Give me a second. I don't know if you'll be able to see them.
Oh, there they are. Well, that helps. That's pretty fancy. That's a good look. I need a better setup, but I'm in a basement right now because I'm on vacation. So
Yeah, I do need to have a setup. I am redoing my room, and I am gonna have my Giants section. I do have like my Giants newspapers that I've been collecting that I would like to put up. I have like a couple of like posters and stuff. So I do have my Giants setup that I'm gonna do soon. It's just not done yet. So
Well, I'm excited to see it when it happens.
yeah, me too.
Kafka built the KC offensive a few years ago with our Giants. That he did RM. It really did look a lot like the Kansas City offense at times last year. And I think it's only going to get better this upcoming season.
Yes, and again, another thing that I'm going to point out, which I also talked about, Kafka loves using tight ends. That's why Travis Kelce was used in the way that he was used. And that's why I'm excited for both Waller and Bellinger, because again, Kafka finds creative ways to use those tight ends. So I feel like in a way they are also going to be used as receivers or just in like crazy creative plays. So that is something to be excited for. And yes, both of them, not just Waller. I do feel like it's a big year for Bellinger as well. He gets forgotten about sometimes because of Darren Waller.
Yep. I think Waller is going to propel Bellinger to have an even better season, though, personally.
Yeah.
But all right, I'm going to read through some of these last ones, and then I'm going to call the stream. But Sean says, count him in for the Florida meetup. I'm counting you in. I'm hoping to see you there. Looking forward to it. Stephen RC says, how much for Jalen Waddle? He is a perfect fit. He would be perfect for this offense. If he's on the trading block, I would love to see the Giants go for Jalen Waddle. But and before we go, what's our Robinson prediction? Excited to see him back out there. I think he's going to take a few weeks to get going. I don't think we're going to see a lot of Wan'Dale until about week 4. Yes, he's healthy, ready to go for week 1, but I don't think he's going to be a focal point in the offense. They don't need him to be. They have a bunch of playmakers. So I think after a month, we'll start to see him get the ball more. But what I will say, I tweeted the stat out yesterday. Go check me out. He had like a 22.8% target share or something, which was the highest of like any wide receiver through a 5-week span. Wan'Dale Robinson was getting the most targets during that span. So clearly Mike Kafka likes to call plays to get the ball in his hands. So don't sleep on him when he is fully healthy and he's ready to go. The Giants are going to scheme up ways for him to touch the football.
Definitely. They're going to find creative ways to use them, which is something that I've been stressing for the longest. We're going to see creative plays. You keep freezing, and it's really funny.
Yeah, my Wi-Fi isn't the best tonight. As long as you can hear me. Can you hear me?
I can 100% hear you. It's like you'll be talking, and then you'll just freeze, and then you're still talking.
Okay, good. Well, I guess that's a good time to probably call it then. So, everybody, thanks for the donations. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the questions. Make sure to leave a like, all that good stuff. RM with the last minute like. My super chat still stands. Grind it out, team. RM, I appreciate you. The last super chat standing. Much love, my friend. But yeah, it's time to go. Allie, any last words for the fans?
What I can say is I'm excited for some Giants football. That is my last word. Yep. I'm excited for Giants football. I know you guys are excited for Giants football. I'm tired of all the what ifs. I'm excited to see this offense, and that is that.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah. And what I will say is next week, not on Wednesday, live stream is going to be moving to a different day for next week only. I think we're going to be on Saturday night, it's like Christmas Eve, but the night before game day, we're going to be going on Saturday night and live streaming. And then, of course, the game on Sunday, we'll probably do a little pregame live stream. But yeah, stay tuned to that, guys. Stay tuned to the Twitter channels and everything, and to the channel. We'll be announcing all of that, maybe anything else that we think we want to conjure up specially for the week 1 game, but it's almost here. I'm really excited. So make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this live stream. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Ring the bell so you don't miss an episode. Comment your thoughts on the topic down below if you're watching the replay. If you're listening to any of our shows on Apple or Spotify, please make sure to leave us a 5-star review, and go ahead and follow us on all of our social media channels at Anthony_Vardo, at however Allie pronounces it, and at Fireside Giants. But we will catch you on the next one. Have a good one, and let's go Giants.